Moving to New York was not for the weak, okay? I moved out here, or I attempted to move out here with a dream and a budget. And unfortunately, only one of those things made it. I'm gonna give y'all the good, the bad, and oh hell no fucking moments about moving to New York. Because one thing about it, New York City will humble you, y'all. It will humble you. Don't ever think you're too above the program. She will let you know, hey, well, you not that girl you thought you was. Settle down somewhere before you hurt yourself, okay? So I want to talk about like why I moved, y'all. First things first, I have always loved New York. Like New York was always the end goal. Atlanta was just a pit stop, okay? Honestly, when people say you have to see more to be more, like I truly believe that. I knew that there was no room for me to grow where I was at that time. And so I left Atlanta. Like Atlanta, I feel like I grew. I feel like I did all I could do. I feel like I reached my peak there. And I have been feeling like this for a long time. I felt stagnant. I felt unmotivated after a while. And I feel like I had become so comfortable, y'all. And I really am a big believer in like your comfort zone can kill you. I needed a new environment. I felt like I could not do what I needed to do, what I was destined to do at that time. And I felt like moving to a new environment, a new space would allow me to, one, grow up, two, boss myself up, and three, just take on some new responsibilities and opportunities. So it was like, I was leading up to this move. Everything has been leading up to moving to New York, y'all. New York has always been the ultimate goal. Atlanta was just a pit stop. Now, let me tell y'all why it's always been New York for me. New York, as a kid growing up in California, when I used to see New York on TV in the movies, it always just looked like a wonderland. Like it always looked like, ooh, I love this. From The Devil Wears Prada to even Home Alone, like those different movies, those things. Like I grew up watching these things on TV, but we were never able to travel to New York. Like all my life, I only ever wanted to go to New York as a kid, and we could never go. And I know this is so cliche, people say this all the time, but I always have been told, and I always see it in the movies, but they say like, if you can make it in New York, baby, you can make it anywhere. And I just felt like, I don't know, I've always felt like I've been naturally a hustler, and not the bad kind. I feel like hustler gets a really bad like rep for the title. But when I say I'm a hustler, like I know how to go out there and make it happen. I know how to make $1. I know how to go out there and work my set. So that's what I say when I mean that. I always just felt like that was the place I needed to be. It has the fashion, it has the movies, it has the main characters. Like, and I'm always been a main character. Always been that. When I became an adult and I was able to travel there on my own means and actually do the things that I wanted to do, I realized like the love I felt for it, that nostalgic feeling, it returned when I came. And I always got that good feeling when I came to New York. Every time I come to New York, it feels like this is home, this is where I'm supposed to be. And then it's funny because once I started telling people that I love New York and I want to move to New York, they started saying like, I can see that you have that aesthetic, you have that vibe, I can see you in New York. And I'm just like, yeah, that means I need to move there. You know what I'm saying? Now it came down to figuring out how I was gonna make the move happen. Like that was the hard part, okay? That was the part that almost took me out. So let's get on that. Let's talk about the dream versus the reality of it, okay? Like I had to get very fucking for real with myself when it came to me moving to New York. Because I thought I was about to be one of them bad people who lived up on the Upper West Side, or I would live like in Dumbo or Williamsburg overlooking Manhattan with the fab high-rise apartment. Like I thought that that's what I was gonna have. So I had came to New York multiple times over like the last year and a half. Honestly, since like 2022, I feel like I've been coming here often, but really in this last like 2023 and the year before, I've been really traveling a lot. 2024 and 2023. And I wasn't really looking because I wasn't in a place where I was actually ready to move. Like I just knew that it was gonna come soon. So I started looking at apartments last year in the summer, like for fun. Like I was looking for fun, but like for fun, because I knew I wasn't gonna be ready to move until last November of 2024. Because that's when my lease was up. So I was here in like July or something like that. Yeah, it was like July. And I had went and looked at this apartment in like Manhattan. And baby, it was a fab apartment. If y'all remember, I'm gonna like overset the overlay over here so y'all can see it. I went and looked at this apartment. It was nice. They had like a washer and a dryer in the unit. It had peekaboo refrigerator and freezer. It had heated floors in the bathroom. It was fab. Like it was fab. But when they told me it was going to be $12,000 USD. I almost fell out. I acted like I had it. I'm like, oh, that's it? Only 12? 12? Not there yet. We getting there. I ain't there yet. So it was a huge transition for me. And looking for an apartment out here is not like looking for an apartment in Atlanta. Here in New York, you do have to compromise. There is a compromise. Unless you have the cost to be the motherfucking boss, bitch, you're gonna have to make some compromises. So let me tell you, over the last few months, I have had to make compromises on what I'm willing to get. It went from looking at a certain aesthetic to a certain vibe to me being like, okay, I just need space, okay? I need a place where I can move and I can have space. I had to compromise, okay? Maybe if I want more space in my apartment, I want storage, then I can't live in the most fab area, okay? Or if I want to live in a newer building, a nicer building, you're gonna pay more, but you're gonna have less space. If you live in an older building, you might have more space, but you might have like a 5-floor walk-up. You get what I'm saying? You're never gonna get everything that you want, okay? So I had to make a compromise. And I had really got to the point where I was getting so desperate, y'all. The last thing I always said I would do, I said, if I cannot move on my own, my biggest thing is that I needed to move on my own. And I even got to the point where I gave that up just so I can get here. Like, the biggest thing is you need to actually be here to see these apartments. Trying to see them from a different state and doing all the things that you have to do to actually see them, it's too much, okay? Here in New York, you see the apartments, they're not managed by the people who own it. So you have to go through like a realtor, and then the realtor or the broker, you can reach out to them, then they'll put you on the schedule. But before you even get put on the schedule, they gonna first of all, you reach out to an apartment that you see an apartment on Rent that you like on Street Easy, right? You're gonna reach out to the realtor connected to it, okay? Now, the owners of that apartment, that unit, whatever, they are hiring the realtor. However, most of the time, you gotta pay the realtor. So you go hit up this realtor. Now the realtor gets your information, and they don't ask you how your day was, what's going on, hello. All they hit you with is, how much do you make a year? Do you have any money in your savings? If so, how much? Or who are you gonna be moving with? Excuse me? First of all, what happened to good morning? How are you? How are you doing? They skip over all that and ask you how much money you got in your savings and who you laying with at night. You don't know. I don't know you like that. Calm down. So they hit you with that. You send the info. You tell them, you know, how much you make, etc. If you say you don't make enough, they'll let you know, hey, baby, you ain't gonna waste my time. Get the fuck on out of here. So sometimes you gotta lie. Yes, I make over $150,000 a year. Okay, how many people gonna be living with? It's just gonna be me. I would like to see this 1-bedroom, thank you. Now they want you to come look at the apartment. You need to make a good impression on these people. Because if you seem like a hoodlum, or you seem like somebody who don't got it, they will pass over you quickly, okay? Especially if it's a nice unit. It is a very competitive market. People are coming looking at apartments several times a day. Sometimes, like, several times a day. And you can't just look at it online and be like, yeah, I want it. You have to actually come and meet the realtor in person. Sometimes the owner be there. Just depends. I've heard of that, but that just hasn't been my experience. You go look at the apartment. So now I'm looking at apartments in the wintertime. I seen this nice apartment that I like, but then they have this thing called like net effective rent, and then you have like the actual rent. I still am confused about it. I feel like there's a certain amount that you pay for a term, but then after that term is over, the net rent is what you pay. So let's say like your apartment is $4,000 net effective, but right now for these next 16 months that you get the apartment, it's only gonna be like $3,500. You get what I'm saying? So after that 16 months, you're gonna be paying for, if not more. Hell no. And that's confusing to me. So that's one thing to look out for. And then let's say you do find an apartment in your budget. Let's say you got a budget of $1,800, $2,000, whatever the case may be. You have to pay first month rent. You have to pay the deposit. So that's gonna be $2,000 right there on the rent, the first month rent, and then $2,000 on the security deposit. And then you have to pay a 12 to 15% broker fee on an apartment. And that could be like another like $2,000 to $3,000. So now you're paying like $6,000 to $7,000 just to get in the fucking apartment. And on top of that, you need your W-2 from this year. Sometimes you need this year and last year. You need 2 to 3 different bank statements. You need 2 to 3 different check stubs, recent ones. Sometimes you need an offer letter from your job. You need a letter from your last the last place you stayed, whoever your landlord was there, saying that you were a good tenant, and then you still got to do a credit check, and then you probably got to pay for the credit check. It's a lot, okay? It's not like, I don't know, I never experienced no shit like this, okay? And that was part of the reason why it took me so long to even get to move, okay? And I want to be honest, y'all. I came out here for Fashion Week, and I told myself literally before I booked my flight, the time has come. The time is now. You are going to come here to New York and you are going to serve for Fashion Week. You're going to come, you're going to do castings. You're going to come and you're going to go to industry events and you're going to rub shoulders. You're going to network. You're going to do your fucking thing. And as soon as Fashion Week ends, it's time to find the apartment. You're not going home until you find the apartment. I booked a one-way and I had came out there on a hope, a dream, okay? And that's what the fuck I did. I came for New York Fashion Week. I served. I went to Loire. I went to Highs No Sobriety. I rubbed shoulders. I talked to the right people. I did what the fuck I said I was going to do. Made those connections. And then right after that, it was straight to business. I hadn't even caught the flu, y'all. I remember it was freezing. It was cold. It was snowing. I had the flu. I still took a Uber all the way to this borough to go look at this apartment. And I found my apartment. I didn't even know I had found the apartment. Like, y'all, when I looked at it on the pictures, it looked so nice. It looked so clean. It was a little deep, but I was familiar with the area. I had friends in the area. I knew I was going to be comfortable in that area for the most part. So I had went and I looked at the apartment. It was really, really quick. I came up, I seen it. It was not what I was expecting, but it wasn't terrible. There was still like stuff in the apartment from the last person living there, but like overall, most of it was cleared out. And I came, I probably wasn't even here a full like 5 minutes. I came, I looked at the apartment, I left, and I fell in love with it, but it gave me what I wanted. It gave me my own place. It gave me space, and I was okay with the location. It wasn't where I wanted to live, but like I said, you don't get everything you want. But I was familiar with the area, and I will be okay living here until I moved on, because literally it's not about where you start, it's about where you end. I just needed to be here, okay? I could find everything else out after. Found the place. Kept looking for more places, kept in contact with the apartment I ended up moving into, and I had ended up, like, I think the next day or the day after, I just started doing the information, getting the ball rolling on this apartment, and literally before I left New York, y'all, I got approved. I had a date. I knew I was moving in on the 1st. Literally, I came for 2 weeks, went to fashion show, did all that, and then I found my apartment like a boss. Now, let's talk about the thing that everybody wants to know. How was I able to fund my move? And I'm not gonna lie, y'all. I did have to sell my body to get here, and I'm not ashamed of it. No, okay, I'm fooling with y'all. So I really had to get serious. I had a goal, I wrote it down, I planned it, and I executed it. My content, my different forms of content, different streams of income, you guys, was able to fund my move. I'm proud to say that I was able to move to New York on my own term, on my own time, in my own place, on my own dime. Invest in your content, y'all. I keep trying to tell y'all this. Invest in yourself, invest in your content, believe in yourself, because I have made the most money I've ever made literally doing my content on social media. A job never paid me as well as I've been motherfucking paid now, okay? And last year was a great year for me. I had a lot of good collaborations, brands, my live streaming, like everything. I did multiple things. Like, you can't just do one thing. It wasn't just, oh, he posts on TikTok, that's it. No, I'm posting on TikTok. I'm doing live streaming. I'm hustling. I'm selling courses. I'm doing all these different things to fund the dreams and fund the things that I want out of life. This was my dream, and I made it happen. And I didn't have no handouts. It was nothing like that. Like I said, everybody I asked and tried to find stuff and find routes and different ways to move in places wasn't even able to help me. So let me be your motivation, your inspiration. It is out there, it is possible, and you can do it. It might take you some time, y'all. I told myself when I moved to Atlanta when I was 17, I'm gonna move by the time I turn 25. When I turned 22, going on to 23, yeah, I'm 23 now. I told myself I had to take a moment to say, what am I waiting on? What am I gonna be able to do at 25 that I can't do now? And I made it happen. And y'all, I cannot stress this enough. This is if you want to know, like, yes, I funded it through my content creation, but let me tell you how I was able to do it. This is the biggest thing, y'all. It's the last thing I'm saying, but it's the most important thing. Y'all, I put God first. I had to put God first, y'all. I had to tune out all the naysayers. It was so many people who had negative things to say about me and my move. It was like, oh, it's gonna be hard, it's expensive, I don't think you should move there, I tried to live there and it was this and it was that. Baby, that's your story. I'm so sorry, but you're not me, I'm not you, I can't live that life, that's not my lifestyle. You have to really tune out a lot of haters and naysayers and people who are speaking fear into your plans, y'all. I literally like stopped talking to a lot of people about the whole move overall because I tried to move once in November and it did not work. And I feel like not that it was the only reason, but a big part of the reason was I was talking too much about it. I was talking too much about it. I just needed to act on it. So sometimes when you got something that you're excited about, you proud of, it's too many people around you saying the wrong thing, negative things, and making you feel bad or like inadvertently bringing negativity into your plans, and you have to tune them out. So I didn't even, like when I decided, when I got approved, I only told like my mama, I told like 2 or 3 people. Everybody else, I stayed silent about it. I didn't say nothing. I just let them see on social media when I did it. Y'all said I couldn't do it, now look at my ass. I'm doing it, I'm doing it, I'm doing it. I'm doing it, and that's the best way to do it. You just gotta, sometimes you really just gotta pop out and show niggas. And that's how I did it. But you have to put God first in your plans, y'all. I prayed about this, I manifested this, I wrote it down, I asked him, and he made it happen on his own time. I wanted it to happen sooner, but this is when he wanted me to have it. This is when the opportunity opened. This is when I was gonna be able to have my own space. This is when I was gonna have enough money to do so. I believed in his plan, and I let him guide me, okay? So, put God first in all your plans and all your dreams and all your aspirations and manifestations. Manifesting without God is witchcraft, okay? And yeah, that is how I was able to move to New York. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, y'all.